So we'll get hands raised, and then we can get going. First up is Ben Arnett from KOMU. Go ahead, Ben.
Hey, Barrett, how did you feel like, I guess individually and then also as an offense, things improved over the week? Coach mentioned that he kind of challenged everybody to have one thing to get better at. And how do you feel like the offense improved over the bye?
I think it was a good week for us. Came at an unexpected time, but I think we took a good benefit out of it. We had 3 physical games. It was good for us to get healthy. And, I think all of us in the room, there's stuff that you can work on, and I think everybody kind of attacked that and went at it with the mentality of improving every day. And so I think that we did a very good job, and, we're excited to get back at it this week.
Next up is Colin O'Brien from Jeff City. Go ahead, Colin.
Hey, Barrett. Coach told us last week that he thought because, Connor got so much reps with the twos during the off season and working into this season, that there was no drop off and no lack of confidence going out there with the twos starting wide receiver against LSU. You think that was the case as well?
Yeah, I think it goes all the way back to just in our preparation throughout the summer and everything. Just everybody working and everybody getting reps with everyone. You never know who's going to be the guy, and Connor stepped up for us, and a lot of guys made a lot of plays. It was good to see everyone out there working together.
Mitch 40 Parmesan. Go ahead, Mitch.
Hey, Barrett. One of the guys after that LSU game, I think maybe it was Towski, said that you're kind of a vocal leader at times among the receiving group. I'm curious, in a game like that where you have several different guys making their first start or catching their first touchdown or their first pass, what was your message leading up to it during the game?
I think the first thing is to just trust your training. You can't go out there and do something that you haven't prepped yourself to do. That's the whole reason you practice and prepare for, 9 months to play 3. So, that was my first message to him, was just go out there and trust your training. And, after that, it's just stay focused on each and every play. It was a slugfest out there. And so you got to just keep pounding away, keep chopping wood, and, keep doing that, and good things happen. So obviously I think they responded well. They played a heck of a game, and, it's not a credit to me. It's a credit to them. They're the guys out there that did it.
Next up, Dave Matter. Go ahead, Dave.
Barrett, for guys like you who have been around this program for a while, just how much is a losing streak to Kentucky kind of nagging at you guys? How important is this game, because nobody on this team has experienced a win over them?
It's definitely something that we need to fix. And when Coach Drink asks everyone if they've beaten Kentucky and you see no hands go up, it's kind of a tough feeling to swallow, And so, we got to go out there and we got to prepare. They're a good football team. They've played very, very well these last 2 weeks, and we played them close the last couple of years. It's time for us to get one.
Peter Ball from The Athletic. Go ahead, Peter.
Hi, Barrett. I guess in the past, last year specifically, in one possession games, the team really struggled. How important was it for you guys, I guess mentally this year, to pull out a close game last week against LCO?
I think it was awesome to see, and I think it was good to see it all throughout the second half, if that makes sense. Each time either the offense was down or the defense was down, and we just kept making plays, kept picking each other up, and I thought it was awesome, the defense making that goal line stand. I'm not surprised by it. They've trained and prepped for that. And, that's been something of emphasis. It's just always competing and, just finishing in the fourth quarter. And so I'm extremely proud of them. It was good for us to get that win, but we got a big one this week.
Yeah. How do you kind of, build off a close win like that going into this week?
I think it obviously helps to have that experience of winning that game. You got new freshmen and transfers and stuff coming in, and you pull out a big close win like that. That's the expectation. That's the experience you pull from, instead of, wow, we didn't pull that one out, wonder what's going to happen. You pull from past experiences and everything you do. So it was good for us to get that.
Thanks.
Soichi Terada, Kansas City Star. Go ahead.
Hey, Bear, we heard from Drink a lot the past couple of weeks, just valuing the ball. How much have you guys just emphasized, limiting turnovers and all those fumbles and everything?
I think that's something that's really been brought to the table. It's been from the shrink staff to on the field prep with just ball security and the importance of it. We got to quit putting the ball on the ground. We were fortunate to get a win against LSU with how many turnovers we had. And then obviously Kentucky's, I think, had 9 turnovers in the last 2 games. They generate turnovers, and it's a big big key to victory when you look at things in football. So we got to take that into factor.
Kyle Pinnell, Maneater. Go ahead, Kyle.
Hey, Barrett, you kind of just touched on it with the 9 turnovers, but you're also going against the Kentucky defense that's allowed 9 points over the last 2 games. And as an offense, what do you guys need to do to kind of create movement and get some momentum to create a drive against a defense like Kentucky's?
I think it's just focusing on the details and trusting that our system and our coaches, that they've put together a good game plan for us. We just got to go out there and execute what we practice. And, I think that's the biggest thing for us. They're a heck of a defense. Got a great challenge ahead of us.
Max Baker, Missourian.
Hey, Barrett. I feel like a couple receivers mentioned last week about Connor that, he's not much of a talker. He just throws the ball. And I was wondering, is that a big contrast from Kelly and Drew? And, what makes him effective if he's not able to, if he doesn't talk as much as they?
I think, he's definitely quiet, and that's a trait of his. But, I just don't think he's as I'm trying to think of the word. He doesn't express his emotion. He doesn't wear his emotions on his sleeve as much. You'll hear him on the sidelines, and he's talking, communicating with us. He's communicating on the field, but it may just not be as expressed loudly, if that makes sense. But, he's a great leader for us, and we're excited to go to war with him every weekend.
Mitch 40, back to you, Mitch.
Barrett, I know there were, some drops in the first 2 weeks, and that was kind of cleaned up against LSU. I'm curious, what did the staff maybe say or do to emphasize the importance of securing the catch?
I think it's a lot of catching's a lot of it, just mentality. And so I think a lot of it was just, once again, realizing the importance of the ball and how those drops can affect drives. And, I think it was just emphasizing the importance of taking eyes to the tuck, and I think everybody just kind of bought into it, and it paid dividends for us against LSU.
Okay, we got 4 in the queue right now. We're going to finish with these 4, roll through it here. Bennett Durando, you're up.
Hey, what's up, Barrett? You mentioned a minute ago that Coach Drinkwitz sort of, called that out and said, who in the room has beaten Kentucky before, the raise your hand sort of thing. Could you sort of describe what that team meeting was and what that team was? And also, I know you guys have got you've got a punter who was on that Kentucky team a couple of years ago. Did Coach Drinkwitz single him out at all as being a Kentucky guy, or have there been any remarks about that?
No, not really referring to Grant. I think everyone knows kind of where he came from, but I don't think there's any doubts about where his allegiance is. And, I think Grant's going to go out and do what he's done these first 3 weeks, and he's going to punt the ball great for us and do a great job holding. That team meeting, I think it was just, I think more of anything, it was just an eye opener. A lot of freshmen and maybe transfers and maybe even coaches. It's a new staff. They don't know that we haven't had great success with Kentucky over the past couple of years. And so I think it was an eye opener and just kind of a motivation thing for us.
Colin O'Brien, go ahead.
Barrett, for a guy that has as little college experience as Connor does, just apart from game plan, what can the receivers do to make things as easy as possible for him Saturday against a really good defense?
I think from the receiver position, the first thing that we can do is get him yards whenever, we're running the ball. It makes things easier whenever it's, 2nd and 5 instead of 2nd and 8, whenever a guy that we're supposed to go make a block. That helps. That gets you in more favorable odds and stuff whenever it comes to calling plays. So I think that's the first thing that we can do, is take care of our job on the perimeter. And then, also is too, just making the plays that we're supposed to make, catching passes that are even for 8 yards and for a first down. It moves the change. It gives the quarterback confidence, and, it can open up bigger plays.
I heard Drinkwitz say the first time I'd ever heard this phrase after the LSU game was push crack. And I guess that's just a downfield block by the receiver. But was that an area of the game you guys emphasized improving against LSU that you maybe hadn't done the first 2 games, those receiver blockings downfield?
Yes and no. A lot of that's dependent on the defense they're running. And so it's just kind of who's the run fit and going and making plays off that.
Peter Ball, The Athletic.
Yeah, you talked about Kentucky's 9 forced turnovers, and I'm pretty sure all of them were on interceptions. As receivers, what specifically can you guys do to – I know the quarterback throws the ball, but what can you guys do to limit interceptions as receivers?
Be in the right spot and catch the ball. It's kind of a vague answer, I guess, but you gotta be in the details. Quarterback's gotta be on the same page as you. Obviously, it's his job to read coverage and make the throw, but whenever we're in the right spot and we catch the ball for him, it helps a lot. We got to go make contested catches. We can't let tight coverage be something that's enabling us.
And we'll finish up with Gabe DeArmond. Go ahead, Gabe.
Yeah, Barrett, simple question about something that's obviously not simple to do. Can you describe to fans and people that haven't done it the difficulty in fielding a punt and just, tracking that ball coming down from 30, 40 yards in the air, whatever it is? Obviously, it's been an issue through the first couple games.
Yeah, obviously I'm a victim of that as well. It's a tough deal. It's just kind of a lot of it's instinct. It's like reading a fly ball in baseball. But it's something that we got to get cleaned up, and it's inexcusable. And so, a lot of it's dependent on conditions. If it's a windy day, it's tougher, and it's something we got to get cleaned up, and it's myself included in that.
Okay, there we go. Thank you very much, Barrett.
Thank you, guys.